faith in like what name do I want to be called by and who would God call me by in prayer. And it's always been my full name. That's what my dad always called me by. And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of sick of playing like Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana, like living this double life. I was like, I'm just going to go by Rebekah. And if it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
How good does it feel to be back on the court? I mean, a couple of weeks, but during beach season, you sat out. How good does it feel to be back out there?
It feels good. It's definitely a work in progress, just trying to get back into volleyball shape and just kind of working through a lot of stuff, just getting back into system, and also goals I had leaving last season. And so it's been good. It's definitely a grind, but it feels good to be back.
What was that adjustment period like for you? Was it a rude awakening and like
yeah,
ways to go? Or?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, just to ask someone all of a sudden to just go like cold turkey for working out, it's just hard. And I think it's just a lot to ask from someone who also loves to move. And so, yeah, I think it was a mental stretch. And I think it not only like bettered me as an athlete, but also as a person.
Was that break good for you? I mean, get you back where you need to be physically?
Yeah, I do. I think it also helped me just realize how much I'm grateful for the opportunity I do have here at Nebraska, and that, you know, I am paid to play. No, okay, not that. That's not what I mean. I'm on scholarship, and like the fact that someone's paying for my education, and I am like able to go and work out, and like all this is provided for. It's like, you know, there's not a lot of people my age that have the opportunity.
Now that you've had a little bit of time to reflect on how last season ended, what are those thoughts and what's the motivation this spring as you get ready for game action in the fall?
Yeah, for sure. I'd say me personally, a lot of my goals is just continuing to invest into the teams and the girls next to me. With me as a competitor, I get very like tunnel vision sometimes about the only thing that matters is winning, and I realized when you're at the very top and like you come so short, it's like, would I be willing to go through all that again with the same group? And I was like, okay, I got to reassess. Like, am I really putting my energy in the right places? And so, yeah, I would say I'm taking a different approach this season, and honestly moving forward with my career, just investing more into my relationships with the girls, and just trusting the coaches, and, you know, diving into film and stuff like that.
When it comes to also reflection, have you had a chance to really think back on the relationship you've had with your brother and getting to see him playing an NCAA tournament and just think, wow, that was a really cool year we got to spend together?
Yeah, it was. I don't want him to go. And he's just, I don't know, he's always been a great role model. He's been a really good brother. He's a good friend. And just having someone like that in your corner, especially like so accessible, I think is really rare. Usually most people like that in our lives are a phone call away, and it can be really hard. And so it's different whenever you actually get to celebrate with them, like be able to hug him after a really big game or even a really big loss, and just like run into him through, like on campus or in the cafeteria, just share those little moments, kind of go through the hard stuff but also celebrate the good stuff. It's awesome.
You two are probably the most quoted athletes on campus. I mean, where do you get that personality and just that honesty when it comes to being in front of the media?
Other than God, my mom and my dad. My mom and my dad are very well spoken, but they also have very big personalities. They're known wherever they end up working at. They're always well known, and I think a lot of it just has to do with they just kind of give themselves to people. And so, you know, obviously, like here in Nebraska, I think we're well received, so that's a good thing. But like in that, it's like we're kind of used to having big personalities in the house, and so yeah, I'd say my mom and my dad for sure.
Had he ever said flamethrowers and four-wheelers before?
No, but I feel like that's something right up my alley. Like, I don't know, I'd probably do like a twist on it.
Would you wear a fur coat to a press conference?
This is not the first time I've been asked this. So, I don't know. I think I'd want one a little bit more flattering, but because his is very like, you know, manly and like, you know, I want like something a little bit more like sleek. But I think I don't know. Yeah, sure, why not?
What was it like for you to rush the court, being the other end of that fan experience, and be part of the court rush?
Oh, it was so good. So I was standing with Raina, Josiah's girlfriend, and I remember we're like, I don't know if I'm ever going to have this opportunity in my career, because almost every time I'm in the middle of my season, something crazy is happening. And so I was like, I'm taking advantage of this. We're going to rush the court. Hopefully the security guards will forgive me later. But yeah, it was a really cool opportunity just to like celebrate. And I remember we were trying to find him, and like people are awesome. Like, you're Rebekah, like, go find Josiah's over here, Josiah's over here. Like, they were, like, helping me, like, split the sea of people to get to him. And I remember seeing him, and his face was just, like, I feel like lit up is an understatement. I mean, his eyes were big, veins were popping in, and he was trying to high-five everybody. And I think there's a video somewhere. But it was, like, wow. Like, that's Josiah I saw growing up. That's who I saw in middle school. That's who I saw fighting for his spot in high school. and just to see him on top of the world, like when they beat Purdue, that was awesome.
You got to walk with him for senior day too.
Yeah, I
What's
did.
that like?
That was really cool. Yeah, I think as someone like who's been looking forward to coming to this university since I was in 8th grade, and then to see him so well received by Husker Nation, it's like, you know, I feel like my Allick is kind of tied with the university now, and I think that's really cool.
Any final questions?
John called this one of the more motivated groups. Can you sense that in what the team is going through in practice daily?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's losing in the national championship. I was talking with Izzy, our media girl, and she put it very well when we were sitting like by the sand courts, and she goes, losing the national championship is one of the worst things that can ever happen to a program. But kind of in a flip perspective, it's also one of the best things, because her reasoning for when it's one of the worst things is that it has everyone reassess everything. And kind of what I was telling you earlier was, when you're so close to having everything you wanted and been working for your career, and like really all I want, I remember coming here as a freshman, I wanted 4. No, I literally just want 1. If I can just have 1 national championship, I'm solid. But back to my point, it's just kind of thinking about like that heartache, and I made so many different sacrifices this year, and I was like, okay, everything's clicking, we're grooving. Like, yeah, we fell to Wisconsin, and then flying to Texas, it's like, oh my God, like I don't know if I could put myself through that again. And so you go through this grieving process, and then you know you have hard conversations, and you do a lot of self-reflection, and then it's just like, okay, I got to pick myself up, and I have to try again, and I can't do everything. And I thought I took it up a level last year, but I have to somewhere dig deep inside, and I have to find a way to step up my game, and so does everybody else. And I think that's a lot to ask from 13 other women. Like, you're asking athletes to find another way to step up their game when you thought they gave their all last year. And so it's hard, but yeah, I think we're motivated because we're hungry, and we're kind of almost like a really good kind of desperate, where we're willing to eat off the floor because we know what it felt like to have it pulled out from under us. So.
What are some of those aspects of your game that you're trying to take up another level?
Oh, attacking big time. I think blocking, I served my team well. Yes, I can always do better, but I think blocking I did well. But with attacking, I think I have to be more of an asset on the offense for sure.
Just having another year with Bergen kind of helped that a little bit, you think?
Oh yeah, I mean she's a talented setter, and as far as middle and setters connection goes specifically, that is gonna forever be a growing pain. Like, you can have a really great connection, a great relationship off the court, but like, you know, you see the middles, we are not typically set in system. They usually try and spread the offense. And so when you have those medium system or off the net type of passes, that's usually when you try and push your middle, and that requires a lot of trust, just a lot of training. And so, yeah, getting to go into another year with Bergen will help a lot.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Thank you, Rebekah.